Hey guys, it's Haley and welcome to another bookish video. Today we're going to be getting into my February TBR, and if you don't know what that is, TBR means to be read. These are all of the books that I plan on reading in the month of February. I'm so excited to share these with you guys. I feel like there's a lot of variation, there's a ton of different genres, and there's a lot of stuff that you might have never heard of before. I've been trying to balance out reading popular books with reading things that are unknown because I like having niche recommendations for you guys. I kind of want to start a series around niche recommendations, like books that you may have never heard of. I've also thought about filming vlogs with books that I haven't heard anything about, like I read blank 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 books that you've never heard of kind of thing. Let me know if that sounds interesting to you guys and I will certainly do it. But I have a lot of things to talk about. Book club picks, thriller, horror, fantasy, man-hating books, 5-star predictions, books that I'm halfway through. I'm halfway through so many books right now. I've been letting myself mood read and read slower in 2025, which has been amazing, but it also means that I have a lot of half-read books that I just need to finish up before the end of January so I can start February fresh. But before we get into the February TBR, I do want to take my Magic Mind with you guys. You've probably heard me talk about Magic Mind before. Magic Mind makes these amazing little wellness shots and they are all about mental wealth, especially going into the new year, 2025. I feel like it's so easy to get caught up in the resolution of it all and then you drop it within the first month. But part of Magic Mind's mission is building mental wealth. And mental wealth just means longevity, tiny, small, little baby changes that are easy to maintain. So you're building mental wealth to change your lifestyle rather than just going for a quick fix or something like that. Magic Mind is definitely not that, but it does have some amazing benefits. Let me take my little shot and I will tell you about a few. They're so good. They're just like little green juice shots. These are the ones that give a sharper mind and calmer energy. They reduce stress and boost your focus and your energy levels. It's a slow release caffeine, so very different from a cup of coffee in the morning, which I can't do. It makes me so jittery. This is a lot better, especially with their mission of mental wealth. It just kind of matches up. It's slow, it's kind to the body, and these are real benefits. These aren't just things that they slap on the packaging. I definitely feel the lessening of stress and increasing of focus every time I take Magic Mind, especially when I do it on a consistent routine. All of those benefits are also backed by the science and the ingredients that are included within Magic Mind. There's ashwagandha and L-theanine, and then things like adaptogens and matcha. Everything comes together to give you better energy and motivation to get through your day as a productive girly that you are. So if you want to give Magic Mind a try, you can get 45% off of your bundle that comes with those shots that I just talked about, as well as the Magic Mind Sleep Aid, which has different ingredients and will help you fall asleep and stay asleep. Again, moving towards that idea of mental wealth and building healthy routines. You can get both of those in the Magic Mind bundle with the 45% off using my code HaleyHJan. I will have that linked down below. And thank you so much to Magic Mind for sponsoring this February TBR. Now let's go ahead and get into the books. Let's go ahead and start out here with my book club pick. This is my Pretty Girl book club pick for the month of February. If you don't know, I host a thriller and horror sometimes book club over on Patreon. My Patreon's always linked down below if you want to read along with us, have our discussion, see the exclusive vlogs and stuff that I post over there. In February, our pick is Beautiful Ugly by Alice Feeney, and I've heard very mixed things about this, so I'm really excited to discuss it with the girls and see what everyone ends up thinking. Alice Feeney is the queen of twists. She does have some wild twists in her books, and I've heard that this one is no exception. This is about a guy who's on the phone with his wife and she ends up getting into a car accident. So he rushes to the place where she crashed. He's like on the phone with her, yada da, tries to get there and save her, and she's gone. He sees her car just like crash there. Her phone's on the ground. She's gone. A year later, He's still grieving, still hasn't figured out what happened to her. He's in a random town and he thinks he sees a woman who looks exactly like his wife. Is it the wife? What happened to her? Is he involved somehow? I don't know. We're going to find out. We're going to talk about all the drama, all the twists on our live discussion. I'm very excited for this pick. And as always, I have a good little stack of new release thrillers that I want to read for my February new release thriller vlog. Starting out with Kill Yours, Kill Mine by Katherine Kovacic. The tagline of this book is "Men get away with murder all the time and now it's our turn." And that just sounds so good to me. This is about a super fucked up and unethical therapist who's been collecting a perfect group of killer women. They meet under the guise of group therapy, but really they are all planning to kill each other's target, like a stranger on the train situation, kind of like Kill for Me, Kill for You by Steve Kavanaugh, which I just read and loved. But this is about women getting revenge on people that have killed the women that are closest to them, and they're assigning each other's murders. Like, yeah, this is gonna be iconic. This is gonna be amazing. I'm so excited to read it. This is also a thriller I've heard like nobody talk about, so hopefully it's a hidden gem and I can recommend it to you guys. I also have This Girl's a Killer by Emma C. Wells. This one has been highly requested for me to read in a vlog because it is basically about a female Dexter. She's a female serial killer. She goes around taking out bad men until she discovers a flaw in her very regimented system of killing that causes her to start doubting herself. So we follow, I guess, her journey as a character. We all know I love a character-driven book and a female serial killer POV, so I have high hopes for this one. Next up, we have A Killing Cold by Kate Alice Marshall. And this is a new release. Obviously, it's a cold, wintry thriller, perfect for the weather that we're getting in Texas right now. It's been freezing. And this is about a woman that goes on a wintry stay with her wealthy new boyfriend and his family. It's giving very like Knives Out, Ready or Not. There's something creepy going on with this rich family and she's stuck in a snowy, isolated location. I love that kind of setting for a thriller. She's trying to ignore all of the threatening messages that she's getting on her phone that are telling her you can't trust your boyfriend, his family is bad. But what she can't ignore is a photo of her childhood self that she finds on the grounds of this estate, letting her know that she's been there before. It's giving Blink Twice. If you've seen the movie Blink Twice with Channing Tatum, oh my god, I didn't think I was gonna like that movie. I loved it. This is giving the wintry version of that, and I need to read it immediately. And the last thriller that I have to choose from for my thriller vlog is Don't Move by James S. Murray and Darren Wehrmouth. This is Murr from The Impractical Jokers. I'm endlessly obsessed with him. Blame it on the alcohol. I literally love that video and I will never stop quoting it. It's so iconic. This is about a woman who narrowly escapes a traumatic event, and in order to heal, she goes on this church retreat with this church group, but they end up getting into a very perilous situation on their hiking trip, and they're being stalked by prehistoric arachnid beings. So it's not only about her trauma, it's not only about survival in the elements, it's also about killer spiders, question mark? I don't know. I've heard really good things about it. I know it's being adapted right now, so I really want to read it before the movie comes out. I'm super excited for it. Next up, I have a ton of books that I'm halfway through that I need to finish. And I don't know when that's necessarily gonna happen. It could be in these last few days of January. It could be in the first week of February. I'm also hosting a 24-hour readathon on my Patreon the first day of February. So I might get through a few of those on my sprints. I don't know. But I'm halfway through The Skin You're In by Ashley Robin Franklin. This is a horror graphic novel and I'm really loving it. I'm also a little bit into The Favorites by Lane Fargo on audio. I don't think I'm that far in, but I did listen to a little bit of it and I'm liking it. I'm a few chapters into The Serpent and the Wings of Night, and I keep wanting to film this vlog, and I keep having to pause it because I just have things showing up in my life that I'm like, I can't be vlogging right now. So I need extended periods of time open where I can actually read and vlog this book because I'm really liking it and I really want to read it. I just feel like I need time to vlog it. I'm also 150 pages into Bride by Ali Hazelwood. This one I'm kind of lukewarm on right now, but I'm in it enough to finish it. So hopefully we get into that stuff before the end of the month or in the first few weeks of February so I can kind of get that fresh start, because I have a ton of vlogs that I want to film coming up. One of them is a 5-star prediction vlog. I did my 5-star predictions for 2025. If you missed that video during Happy Hailey Days, I will link it up above and down below. I just basically went through and talked about all of the books that I think that I could give 5 stars this year. I want to do a vlog where I read a few of them and test that theory. The first one I'm going to get into is PTSD Radio. I have the first volume here. This is by Masaki Nakayama, and it's about a creature that kind of sounds like The Ring. It's all about like weird hair, okay? Unseen hands tugging at your braids, a sealed box with a tangled mess of dark hair inside, a river of curls slinking down the hallway. It won't be long until you feel the monster's fingers slithering across your scalp. Before it's too late, tune into PTSD Radio. I don't know what it means. It's giving hair monster, but I've heard that this is really, really scary and traumatizing to people, and that's what I want. I also have Lucky Dogs as a 5-star prediction that I want to read in that video. This is by Helen Schulman, and it's about 2 women who meet on the street in Paris when a guy starts like fucking with them. And they're 2 very, very different women, but they have a similar response to this man. They both have a killer survival instinct. One of them pulls out a knife and a sisterhood is born between the 2 of them. Both women are survivors of male violence and both have taken their revenge into their own hands. They each think they know exactly what they're dealing with in their new companion, but they are very, very wrong. Ooh, yeah. 2 killer women on a collision course of toxic female friendship. Give it to me. I also have Marrow by Taryn Fisher. I have historically not liked Taryn Fisher at all, so it's very, very bold of me to name this as a 5-star prediction. But I've heard that her earlier work is a lot better than her work since she's been picked up by a bigger publisher. Marrow is about a little girl who teams up with a wheelchair-bound neighbor, and then a little girl goes missing, and the little girl and the neighbor set out to figure out what happened to her. And along their investigation, they find out things that change them internally, give them a new perspective, and have them determined to find evil and punish it, targeting rapists and child molesters one by one. We're talking about a little baby queen and a disabled queen taking out predators? Exactly. And the last 5-star prediction that I have for that video is The Day of the Door by Laurel Hightower. I have historically loved Laurel Hightower. I've given her 5 stars before, so I have high hopes for this one. This is about a family that is kind of going through the day that wrecked them. Like, there was this one day, the day of the door, the day that one of the brothers in the family passed away, where they suspect their mother had something to do with it. And so they're going through the lore and the family trauma of it all, revisiting this day and try to figure out what actually happened on the day of the door. It sounds really mysterious. It's giving a lot of thriller vibes, but obviously Laurel Hightower writes really effective horror. So I'm interested to see the family drama mixed with the trauma representation and the grief and the horror and the thrilling plot of it all. Like, I want to see it all come together, and hopefully this ends up being 5 stars. And this last little section of books that I have here is all just things that I want to read. Little horror novellas, feminist things, queer shit, my bread and butter. First up, we have Haunt Sweet Home by Sarah Pinkser. And this is about a paranormal reality show that I think the set is actually haunted. So they're like, okay guys, we have to like put in all these graphics and whatever and like make it seem like the show is haunted, but then it's actually haunted. And the cast and crew, I think, are getting killed by ghosts or stalked by ghosts. And this just sounds hilarious and amazing. I need to read it. I also have I Who Have Never Known Men by Jacqueline Hartman. I actually read the intro to this book already and it got me really intrigued, but the writing style let me know that it was gonna be a little bit more serious and intense than I originally thought. This is not giving fast-paced thriller, although it is giving dark and exactly the type of commentary that I usually like. I think I need to wait a little bit before I get into this because I'm wanting something kind of fast-paced right now, so I ended up putting it down for the moment. But it's about a group of women who were held captive underground and they've grown up never knowing men because they've just grown up in this bunker underground. So then when they're recovered and rescued and returned to the world, we see through their eyes what it's like for them to understand a patriarchal society, basically. And yeah, it's really intense, but apparently it's really, really good. From what I just read of the intro, it is really, really good. It's just that the writing style wasn't as thrillery as I was hoping for. It's definitely more literary. Getting into my last couple books here, we have Perfume and Pain by Anna Dorn. And this is about a writer who gets canceled and she's trying to find her way back to herself and her work. She finds herself in a sapphic writing group again, and all of these vices come up to try to get in her way. I believe there's a toxic sapphic relationship. There is a 1950s lesbian pulp fiction. There's a nosy neighbor. There's a pending TV show adaptation that she's working on. It just seems like weird, gay, character-driven, trauma, girly pop activities, which is what I would like to read about. And the last book I have on my February TBR is American Rapture by CJ Lead. For some reason, I haven't heard much buzz about this, even though CJ Lead's first book, Mayfly, was talked about everywhere. I loved it. I gave it 4.5 out of 5 stars. I don't know why this one hasn't been getting as much attention, but it sounds really good. It's apocalyptic and it's about a virus that is spreading across America, transforming the infected and making them feral with lust. Sophie, a good Catholic girl, must survive the hellscape of the Midwest and try to save her twin brother while the world around her burns. Along the way, she discovers there are far worse fates than dying a virgin. It says it's American Gods by Neil Gaiman, oop, jump scare, meets The Last of Us in an epic sweeping novel about the end of the world as we know it. I'm very interested in the commentary about sex in here. Like, I'm hoping that there's going to be something about rape culture and just the idea of lust and how it can destroy you from the inside out, like the whole porn epidemic that's happening to the youth right now. I want that kind of commentary with the horror background, just like she did such amazing feminist commentary in the intense horror of Mayfly. I hope it's very similar. And with that, that's gonna do it for my February TBR. Of course, I'm gonna be mood reading. I might not get to all of these, but if you wanted an idea of what I'm gonna be reading in February, this is it. Hopefully you've seen a couple books that you heard the description of and you wanna check them out. Let me know if you plan on picking up any of these in February or if you've already read any of these and I should prioritize them. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you liked it, don't forget to give it a like and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Of course, don't forget to go down below and check out Magic Mind. Use the code HaileyHJan for 45% off of your Magic Mind bundle. And as always, don't forget to go to therapy and read a book this week. I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!